Here's the 30-second lesson on what legends know. Never practice nunchucks in a crowded room. Never eat chole before a road trip. Always take your shirt off before you iron it. Don't take a call near a swimming pool. And don't forget, saving is not investing. Legends don't just save, they invest in mutual funds. Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.
Campaigning for the Maharashtra election is in full swing. I spent a few days there last week talking to the people and also top functionaries of different parties. 6 regions, 6 parties, and many complex issues. It's a nightmare for pollsters. I'm not a pollster, and so you are safe with me. In this episode of Politically Correct, I'm trying to do a bit of experiment in the format. I'm going to talk about 4 different, though related stories, largely about the ruling coalition, the Mahayuti, because they have been on the back foot after the setback in the Lok Sabha elections. The first story is about the BJP strategy. How is it trying to reverse the Lok Sabha poll trend? The second is about how Eknath Shinde has turned out to be so different from Uddhav Thackeray when it comes to running the Sena. The third story is about Ajit Pawar's image makeover and what makes him so hopeful. And the fourth story, which I find the most interesting, is about how it's in the interest of each of the 6 major parties to see the other 5 fall. It's possible that telling 4 stories in one episode of Politically Correct might remind you of what Samuel Johnson said about metaphysical poetry. The most heterogeneous ideas are yoked by violence together. Trust me, I'm not trying to do that. And please bear with me if I take a little more than usual time in this episode. Let me start with the first story, the BJP's strategy. I met many senior party functionaries in Mumbai and other places. They told me that there were basically 4 reasons for the setback to the Mahayuti in the Lok Sabha election and how the BJP has addressed all those issues. One reason was the Muslim consolidation in the MVA's favor, or what many BJP leaders call vote jihad. In Dhule Lok Sabha constituency, for instance, the BJP candidate Subhas Bhamre led in 5 out of 6 assembly segments. He led by 1,90,000 votes over his Congress rival in 5 assembly segments. In the 6th segment, Malegaon Central, Bhamre trailed the Congress candidate by 1,94,000 votes, which led to his defeat by around 3,800 votes. Muslims constitute over 80% of the voters in Malegaon Central, and the BJP candidate got just 4,542 votes in that constituency. That was just one example. Maharashtra Deputy CM Devendra Fadnavis has said that the MVA won at least 14 out of the 48 Lok Sabha seats due to quote-unquote vote jihad. My question to the BJP strategists was, if you see such a threat from Muslim votes consolidation, why are you talking about Zazakars, batenge to katenge and ek hai to safe hai? One of the Mahayuti partners, Ajit Pawar, in fact, went public with his objection, saying that such slogans don't work in Shivaji's land. The Shiv Sena leaders I spoke to were also disturbed by such remarks and slogans because they thought that polarizing politics didn't work in Maharashtra and it might rather dilute the main poll plank of the government's developmental and welfare schemes like Ladli Bahan Yojana. Their fear was that Muslims, who constitute a little over 11% in Maharashtra, 11% of the population, play a decisive role in at least 30 constituencies. And it's a hell of a lot, quote-unquote, in a tight election with so many players. BJP strategists told me that they were expecting the same vote jihad to have the opposite impact on the BJP's prospects in the assembly election. And I'm quoting one of them here. If Muslims' votes in one assembly constituency negated the votes of the people in 5 other assembly seats in the Lok Sabha, so be it. Let them vote the same way in the assembly election. Simply multiply the number of seats they can influence by 5 for the BJP. I'm quoting a BJP functionary here. Also, polarizing politics may or may not work in a big way, but it will galvanize the BJP workers and sympathizers. I'm just telling you what the BJP leaders are saying. There were a few other reasons because of which the BJP thinks it lost in the Lok Sabha election in Maharashtra. Maratha reservation agitation, the opposition's propaganda about the BJP planning to change the constitution, and the unrest among party workers after Ajit Pawar's entry into the ruling Mahayuti, which only compounded the frustration of those who were unhappy about the chief ministership going to Eknath Shinde and not to a BJP leader. Since July, the BJP has been trying to address these issues. The party's assessment was that the Maratha agitation was essentially about agrarian distress. The BJP therefore set out to address the issues concerning soybean, cotton, onions. The centre, for instance, imposed and raised customs duty on crude and refined soybean and other edible oils, and also approved procurement of 13 lakh metric tons of soybean under the price support scheme. Restrictions on onion exports were eased. As a BJP leader told me, these are such touchy issues in Maharashtra. Can you imagine that even the export of white onion, which was so minuscule, became an issue in Maharashtra? He was referring to the centre's decision to partially relax the ban on onion exports to facilitate immediate export of 2,000 tons of white onions that are grown in Gujarat. As for the propaganda about changing the constitution, the BJP has been making a massive outreach to the Dalits and the OBCs all over Maharashtra right since July. And as for the unease among BJP cadres, they have been involved in a major way, right from identifying issues to candidate selection. For instance, 10,000 workers from across Maharashtra were given parchis or chits to name 2-3 candidates for their constituencies. The BJP is confident now that it has managed to address all those issues, because of which it got a setback in the Lok Sabha election. Well, we will see. Let me come to the second story, how Eknath Shinde has turned out to be so different from Uddhav Thackeray. I won't take long. I'll cite just a couple of instances to show how Shinde backs his Shiv Sainiks. In Mahim constituency, the Sena MLA Sada Sarwankar filed his nomination papers. When Raj Thackeray decided to fill his son Amit in that constituency, Shinde was in a dilemma. He summoned Sarwankar on the eve of the last date of withdrawal of candidature. Go and meet Raj Sahab and do whatever he tells you, Shinde told Sarwankar. Sarwankar, who is Raj Thackeray's neighbor, sent his son to Raj Thackeray's place the next afternoon, seeking a meeting with him. Thackeray did not meet them, and so Sarwankar remained in the contest. There was a catch though. Sarwankar approached Thackeray just about an hour before the deadline for the withdrawal of the nomination papers. Even if Thackeray had met him and asked him to withdraw, there would be no time left for Sarwankar to go and withdraw the papers. Thackeray must have seen through it, but he could not complain. After all, Shinde had asked Sarwankar to go by what Thackeray said. The fact is that Shinde backed Sarwankar all the way. He could not have let down a 3-term MLA who had started his career as a Gatha Pramukh of the Sena and gone on to become Up-Shakha Pramukh, Shakha Pramukh, Up-Vibhag Pramukh and Vibhag Pramukh before becoming a corporator and then an MLA. There was no way Shinde was going to drop him. Such a loyal party worker who has been there all along. Let me give you another example. In my interview with Eknath Shinde, I asked him why he did not get his son, Shrikant, into the Modi cabinet. After all, he is a 3-term MP. Shinde did not bat an eyelid when he said, Pratap Rao Jadhav is a very senior person. Shrikant himself asked me that Jadhav should be there, and others also said that. He is such a senior party leader. How could I ignore? Now, Jadhav is a 3-term MLA and 4-term MP. That's the thing about Shinde. He has been going overboard to show how he cares about the Shiv Sainiks who have served the party. I mean, served the party, not his family. I know it's getting long, so let me come to the third story immediately. Ajit Pawar's attempted image makeover. When he was about to hit the campaign trail, Ajit Pawar got a piece of advice from one of his campaign managers. He said, has it ever struck you that nobody has seen you smiling? All your pictures in newspapers and TV have an angry, grumpy look. You must smile and laugh. That was the advice. Pawar seems to have taken it very seriously. I mean, he's all smiles nowadays. Although laughter is still a work in progress, I would say. For someone who has always been seen in white, wearing a pink jacket must have made Pawar smirk in front of the mirror. His party has turned pink, a color that also goes well with his claim for credit for the potentially game-changing Ladki Bahin scheme. Campaigning for Nawab Malik in his constituency, Mankhurd Shivajinagar, was a first for Ajit Pawar. Malik has been contesting on the NCP ticket since 2004, but never did Ajit Pawar turn up to campaign in his constituency until this time. Pawar was never the people's man. He was always there for workers and leaders and carrying out the instructions given by Sharad Pawar, his uncle. He would help them in every possible way, but maintained a tough exterior, not indulging in even pleasantries. It's a new Ajit Pawar that Maharashtra is seeing nowadays. He has turned out to be a tough bargainer too. The BJP wanted Vadgaon Sheri seat, telling the NCP leadership that sitting NCP MLA Sunil Tingre has been facing public backlash for his alleged interference in police work in the Pune Posh crash case. Pawar put his foot down. Then the BJP, which had accused the NCP MLA Nawab Malik of having links with underworld Don Dawood Ibrahim, was opposed to the NCP fielding him from Mankhurd Shivajinagar. Ajit Pawar would have none of it. The BJP has finally decided not to campaign for Nawab Malik. The NCP is now contesting on 57 seats. This is not enough to put Ajit Pawar in the driver's seat, regardless of his party's strike rate. Many of his allies in the Mahayuti find him a political weakling. He might even drag up the Mahayuti tally down, as a Sena functionary told me. The Ajit Pawar camp is, however, upbeat about his party's prospects. His camp followers say that the NCP will get over 30 seats, which will make him indispensable for the BJP and the Sena if they form the government. And Ajit loyalists told me that even if the NCP's tally is lower and the BJP and the Sena don't need him to form the government, they can't dump him and leave the entire sugar belt unrepresented in the next government. I'm just quoting one of his loyalists. The best scenario, according to them, is when the BJP and the Sena perform below par and need the NCP to form the next government. That brings us to the fourth story, which I would say is the most interesting aspect of this Maharashtra election. There are two major alliances with 3 constituents each. On the face of it, the Mahayuti versus the MVA is the dominant theme. Scratch below the surface and you find how each of these 6 is ranged against the other 5. Ask Sena leaders. They know the BJP's ambition to have its own chief minister again. The BJP is contesting 148 seats. If it wins anywhere near 80, 90 or 100, there's no way that they are going to give up the chief minister's chair this time. Shinde has proved himself much smarter as a politician and administrator than the BJP might have expected when it handed over the CM's chair to him. Another term for Shinde and the BJP would be reduced to playing second fiddle to the Shiv Sena for a long time to come, something it did until 2014. It's quite simple for the BJP. Get one each of the 2 Senas and the 2 NCPs on your side, and it's only a matter of time that you mop up the other 2 substantially, if not wholly. All that the BJP needs is about a 60% strike rate, and it will be back in a commanding position. Shinde must therefore ensure that his party wins the maximum of the 80 seats it is contesting to make him indispensable for the BJP. Even if the BJP emerges as the single largest party, the Sena's indispensability would give Shinde enough bargaining room to reclaim the CM's chair. The lower the BJP's tally, the better for Shinde. Essentially, it's in the interest of each of the Mahayuti constituents to see the other underperform. Just about enough to deny the MVA any opportunity. Let's look at the opposition camp. The Congress is contesting 102 seats, the Shiv Sena UBT 96 and NCP SP 86. It's the lowest for the Congress, which had to give in to its allies in Maharashtra after the setback in Haryana Assembly election. Even BJP strategists are surprised by the way the Congress gave in. A senior BJP leader told me in Mumbai that the Congress should have been more assertive because it was the transfer of Congress votes because of which Uddhav's Sena gained 9 seats in the Lok Sabha. The Congress surrendered at least 35 winnable seats to them. The BJP functionary told me. I was a bit amused, given the kind of sympathy he was showing. One does not know if that was sympathy or despair about missed opportunities. After all, the BJP usually gets the better of the Congress in direct contests. As it is, the BJP and the Congress are in direct contests in 76 seats. Anyway, if Uddhav Thackeray has to have a shot at the CM's chair again, he would eye 2019-like results. You remember Shiv Sena 56, NCP 54, Congress 44. The other two parties would also have similar expectations that they emerge as the single highest party, and the other two with lower tallies. They would want the Mahayuti to do badly, but not so badly as to give any of or either of the two of their competitors in MVA a commanding position in terms of numbers. Let's also not forget the fact that Sharad Pawar, who let his party split to anoint his daughter Supriya Sule, his successor, would do anything to ensure a bright future for her. What better than Supriya becoming the chief minister in 2024 or a couple of years later? Even if that means an agreement to merge the NCP-SP with the Congress at some point, why not? I mean, too hypothetical, I guess. Here is another scenario. Sharad Pawar emerges as the winner in this battle against the nephew, but the MVA does not have adequate numbers to form the government. What if the Mahayuti can muster the numbers by swapping one Pawar with another? That will also give the uncle an opportunity to finish his nephew's party for good. Probably hypothetical again. As you can see, there are layers within layers in Maharashtra election this time. It's pregnant with all kinds of possibilities. That's all from me in this episode of Politically Correct. Thanks for watching.